Thank you so much for being here, and I want to thank everyone. It looks like we've got a full house here tonight, and I want to welcome everyone to our call. You know, it's really great when we see so many people participating, because it really means that you want to bring your business to the next level. And the more people that participate, the faster we all get to go. So welcome to our call. Thank you for taking the time and the commitment to yourself, to the rest of the team. And we're going to get started right away, because we've got a lot to cover here tonight, and I think this is really going to make a difference for a lot of you. So let's get right to it right now. And we are the $1 Billion Project team, and we have this webinar weekly. There's a different leader here every week sharing their time and talents with you, so that you can pass that on and share your time and talents with the rest of the team. So the $1 Billion Project is our team that I'm super proud to be a part of, and you're a part of that team as well. The new associate file pack is what I want to share with all of you this evening. Now, follow me closely with this. You can always go back and watch these slides tomorrow, because Alex will be his wonderful self and put them up there for us. We're going to go rather quickly through this. And here's my goal, because I really think it's important that we all understand one another's goals. I want to show you how this new associate file pack can create a super excited and effective new associate. And when you look at this file pack after this call, you will not just see a file of papers, but you will see that file to the right of your screen there that is just overflowing with financial freedom, or money, however you want to look at it. That's what this pack is to me, and I hope at the end of this webinar you feel the same way. If you do, I know you've got it. So here's a question I want to ask everyone to kind of set us up for this webinar. And if you can type your question, you can type your answers to this question, and the question is, what is this? Now, I know there's a picture within a picture here. What is that, and how much is it worth? What do you see in this picture? What is that a picture of, and how much is it worth? And if you can answer that, type your questions in here quickly. And I'm really looking for some participation here. So while we're waiting for you to type in your answers, obviously there's a lot more to this than meets the eye. And I'm seeing answers like, it's a burger, $2. You know, a hamburger, garbage, maybe not so great for you. Burger in paradise. Yep, that's a good way to look at it. There's all different ways to look at this. Someone thinks this is a turkey burger, okay? Maybe it's worth 50 cents, maybe it's worth $2. Okay? Seeing different prices and different explanations here. Okay. It is a picture of an original McDonald's hamburger, and it is worth billions of dollars. Because this man, Ray Kroc, saw food preparation. He saw food preparation as a process and broke it down into little steps that could be duplicated in any of his restaurants. From the first McDonald's, when they were sold for just cents, to being in several countries across the world, across the planet, if you will. Look at the first McDonald's, and look at this one in China, okay? Because this man saw food preparation as a process and broke it down into steps that could be duplicated in any of his restaurants. Okay, what is this? Ready to start typing? And how much is it worth? What is this? Come on, guys, get on your typewriters or your keyboards. What is this, and how much is it worth? What is this, and how much is it worth? Superfood that can make you billions. Yes, Isagenix billions, superfood, priceless. Yes, priceless, because right here is something that saves lives. You really can't put a price on that, can we? We can't put a price on something that saves lives. And the answer is billions collectively. You're absolutely right. I see Isagenix as a process that, broken down into steps, can easily be duplicated in any household. Now, you may be sitting back thinking, she stole that from Ray Kroc. And you would be absolutely right. I duplicated his thought process, and I'm right, and he was right. 4, 5, 6, 7, multiple seven-figure income. What do you want out of this? Because this is billions collectively. Okay, assuming you're here as a leader and you're really wanting to develop your organization and you're really wanting to get to the money, you cannot sponsor your way there. You cannot be the lone sponsor and sponsor your way there. Lightning will strike you. It can't be done. And you cannot retail your way. I hate to rain on your parade, but that is the fact. You cannot retail your way there. It will not happen. And you cannot wish your way there. You know, get out of the clouds, because all the wishing in the world isn't going to get us there. Duplication is the only way. You want the sun to shine, you want to see that rainbow. Duplication is the way. So get your head out of the clouds, because duplication is the key. Sorry for that little pop-up. And that is what makes things happen. McDonald's operates over 31,000 restaurants worldwide, employing more than 1.5 million people. That's a lot of people, folks. McDonald's operates in more than 119 countries on 6 continents. Every day, McDonald's serves more than 47 million customers around the world. At McDonald's, training never stops. Crew members are trained extensively on all food safety and food handling processes. Trainees work shoulder to shoulder, kind of like locking arms, with crew trainers while they learn the operational skills necessary for running each of the 25 positions in their restaurants, duplicating the exact same system in every location. Yes, as Jim Coover says, success does leave clues. So let's look at the elements of a successful network marketing duplication system. This is where I think a lot of people lose it, where they lose control of bringing their business to where they want it to go, including myself. At times, when I found my business floundering or not on the track of where I expect it to be, I look and I say to myself, where is the system breaking down? And it's not the system that breaks down. It's me plugging into the system. So let's look at some of the elements that are absolutely essential to a successful network marketing duplication system. And this is any network marketing company. 1, a simple, specific process and tools for initially approaching, prospecting, inviting, whatever you want to call it, potential partners. That's keeping the pipeline full. 2, simple, specific process and tools for presenting the complete opportunity. Not a piece of the opportunity, the complete opportunity. Number 3, a simple, specific process and tools for following up and enrolling. And number 4, a simple, specific process and tools for educating partners in this process that you've just brought them through. So Each area needs its specific process and the tools. And then really think about this, internalize this. You know this stuff. Prospecting, presenting, following up, and duplicating a successful system. Those are the essentials to any network marketing company anywhere on the planet for success. Okay. And that brings us to the new associate file pack contents. The reason I created this pack is to keep myself organized and in the system, within the system, so that I couldn't easily get out of the system, so that I couldn't easily get off track, forget, be disorganized, or lose focus. This pack keeps you totally organized, totally focused, and accountable. It enhances and organizes the complete process of our system, creates its own accountability, and therefore you'll see optimal results when you stay within this. Now, where is this file pack? For those of you who are not on our call this morning, this file pack is at howtogetgoing.com. And it's listed there with my name next to it. It says New Associate File Pack. And that's what you want to download. You want to keep that file for yourself. And then what you want to do is you want to print out each of these documents for your new associates that are local. Put it right in a file, and write on the file, New Associate File Pack, okay? So that when you meet them and you get together with them for the first time, you can hand it to them. Now, if you've got someone long distance, obviously the best way to do it is send them to How to Get Going, or you can email the documents to them in attachment. I like to have them go to How to Get Going because that way they get to participate in our phenomenal team site. And they can see all the other amazing things that we have on there. So it's a good habit to get a new associate into. If you can hand it to them, however, the reason I like that better than anything is because they have it in hand. And the moment that you want to begin working with them, to have this in their hand is crucial. Now, these are the entire contents of the pack, and we're going to go through some of these things. Now, a lot of these forms and documents you're already familiar with. We're not going to go through every one of them. We're going to go through the ones that you may not be so familiar with. But what I want you to note here on this slide, and again, you can go back to this presentation anytime after tomorrow when Alex has it loaded onto the website. This is the order of which you want to put these documents in the file for them, because it's the order that you will be using them. Now, out of that list that we just looked at, there's a few documents that you're going to be using copies of that are actually filled in, and you're going to put those in your own file with this associate's name on the file. And each person that you sponsor, you will have a file for them in your hard file cabinet. Now, if you prefer to do these things electronically, you need to figure out how to do it successfully electronically. I'm teaching you what I know that works, okay? And this works, a hard file. So you want to have in that hard file the lead history, which we're going to go over here in a minute, their enrollment form, a copy of their initial order, and their new associate interview. Now, as you work with this associate, there's going to be other goodies you're going to be putting in there, pictures of them and notes that you have with people on their team that you've worked with. It's their file. It's everything you need to know about them. Okay. This is the Isagenix lead history. You've heard me talking about this before if you've been on any of my other webinars or if you're part of our local team here. I believe that I'm one of those people that says, you know, if I'm stuck on an island somewhere, what do I need to survive? Well, if I had nothing else from that file, this is what I'd want. If I had to forego everything else in that file, I feel so strongly about this. If you get to know this, folks, and become friends with this, this is an amazing document. It will help you through the entire process from the very beginning to bringing your new partner on board. I'm going to go over it briefly here. This actually, I could spend a half hour just on this, which I'm not going to do because we don't have the time. However, it's in great part it's self-explanatory. Print it out, study it. If you have questions, shoot them over to me. I will answer the questions. But here's how it works in a nutshell. As soon as you have a person that you're working with, they came to your brain, they're on your names list, or someone said, please call this person, I want to refer them to you, their lead information goes in that top right box. And the date that you had that brainstorm or received that person's information goes there, okay? The top left side is your initial contact. When was the first time you actually spoke with them? Additional contact attempts. When you tried reaching them 2, 3, 4 times and you did not reach them, you can write that in there, okay? Then you want to write down the date that you actually formed them. Find their why in that form. That's a good time for you to share parts of your story. But don't give them the whole ball of wax. Don't be throwing around the word isogenics yet. Because, again, this is a process. Any comments from forming them you want to put there so you don't forget. And then the type of call to action you're going to have with that person next. What are you going to do next? You're going to send them to iTools. You're going to send them to your website, a website. Maybe you're going to meet them at an event or send them to an event with another leader, or you're going to have a one-on-one with them or something else, okay? Again, we're not telling you everything you have to do this certain way. There's a lot of versatile things you can do here, but the system remains the same. You've got to write down what you've done with them, okay? And then from whatever you have done last, let's say I send Alex to an iTools presentation, then I need to put a follow-up date in there. So I put a follow-up date in there, and then I put another follow-up date in as I follow up with him, and then another follow-up date if it's necessary. And I continue to put comments in as necessary. Now, most people should be seeing at least 1 to 2 videos during this process. If they're not, perhaps you're not using the system and you want to take a look at that. Because I believe that's a vital part of not only sharing the business properly, but sharing the message that you don't have to be a presenter. You just need to know how to put this tool in front of every person that you're sharing isogenics with. And again, I apologize for that. Okay, so now we've got videos that we're sending out, but what if you don't remember what video? If you're not using iTools, you might not have a record of those videos. So you want to write down video 1, video 2, video 3. And even if you're using iTools or another system, to have this at a glance is very vital. You know right away by looking at this what this person has looked at, okay? And then the date that you ask them that magic question, my favorite question, what do you see isogenics doing for you in your life? Sorry, I get a little excited here. What do you see isogenics doing for you in your life? That is the opening question, not the closing question. We're not closing anything here. We're opening a relationship, a long-term partnership. What do you see isogenics doing for you in your life? And whatever they tell you, write it in there, because that's going to show you exactly where you need to go with an enrollment pack, okay? And then you might want to say to them, and that's not on this sheet, but as long as we're at this point, how fast do you want to go? You want to go 20 miles an hour, 50 miles an hour, or 100 miles an hour, okay? And that will also help you with choosing the right pack for them, at least recommending the right pack. And then there's a spot for the day that you enroll them, the pack you enroll them with, the new associate interview, the date that you go through the new associate interview with them, okay? And then the date you began the go-getter list, or the names list, the memory jogger, okay? And then the date they become a consultant, because you want that date right away. You want all these dates to go one right after the other. And then the date that you call them to congratulate them. In the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a box there. You're going to have their ID, their placement information. If you are helping someone with this and doing this form, you want to make sure that you've got the sponsor's name if it's not yourself. Username and password for their website. I always recommend with a new leader that they keep the username and password just at least for a week, so that if I need to go back in there for them and or with them, I've got this information available to me. and then find out what days and times they're available to grow their organization and put it at the bottom of this sheet. Now, the last little box at the very bottom says confirm registration for BDP webinars and the date. Show them where to go, tell them how to do it, and follow up and make sure that it's done. Remember, they're new. There's a lot of things coming to them. Okay? Now, as you're going through this process, where are you going to keep this incredible document? This is a living document. It's living, and you're breathing life into it every time you use it. Well, there's two ways you can use this. You can put it in a tickler file, or you can put it in a binder. Either way is by date, so that you're constantly going in there, going in there, going in there, going in there, that you don't forget your follow-ups. You can also put your follow-ups electronically, either through your iTool system or your Isogenic system, or even through your Outlook calendar or whatever calendar you use. But you want to make sure when you've got a follow-up date that you keep that date with them. So this is the Isogenics lead history, and really it is the heart of this entire file. Okay, so we've gone through the Isogenics lead history. Then the next document in the file is the enrollment form. And what I do is make sure there's 5 of them, 5 right off my tear pad, and I make sure they have the first 5 so that they can go right out and become a star. And you need 5 to become a star. And then in this file is the new associate interview, because you're going to be using that to go through their interview with them. So you want to make sure that's the third thing in the file, okay? Then you're going to see the leader development history. Well, what is this? Well, this continues on from the lead development history to now it's a leader development history. So this is pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go over what you can see here for yourself. But what you want to document here is all of your conversations, date and time, what was said, date and time, what was said, date and time, what was said. So you always have a log of your communication. As you're growing leaders in your organization, you've got one of the issues I always had was, what did I say to that person? What did I say to that person? What did they say to me? This is the way you keep a log, and you always know what your conversations are about. And you want to keep this in a binder. And the second page to this, or backing this, you can actually back it up to this, is your goal sheet, or their goal sheet, okay? So you're going to have on one side the leader development history, and on the back side of this, their goal sheet, or as a second page. Because you're working that goal sheet with them, right? Your focus is to first help them become a consultant, then a star consultant, and then what? An executive, right? So you need this information in front of you to have intelligent conversation. Okay, so now we've gone through the leader development history, and then we want to have the rank advancement overview. Why is that important at this point? We want to motivate our new associate. Rank advancements are very exciting, especially right now. You want to make sure they understand the money, the PIB overview, the money. You want to show them the money. The money is what gets people excited. Keep showing them the money. And then there's a sheet in there that it talks about the pyramid schemes and clarifies pyramids. Why is that in there? Because we all know someone out there is going to say to this newbie that may not have experience, oh, you're in one of those pyramid deals. And they are going to then be loaded for bear. They're going to know exactly how to respond. Okay? And then we have the memory jogger. Well, we know what that's there for. And then we have the cleanser development history. Again, pretty self-explanatory, and it's notes. Now, this is different than the leader development history. The cleanser development history is for people that say, I just want to use the products. We know that those folks more than likely will become a B player at some point. As we document everything that's happening in our phone calls with them and their results and their excitement and what we've said to them, and isn't it a great time now to be talking to more of your friends about these great results you're getting? This is your notes. This is your log. And this is in another binder, a separate binder, or divide this binder, divide this sheet from your leadership development histories. Separate binder is what I recommend. That's what I like because I can tell by the color which binder I'm grabbing. So these, again, also should be by follow-up date. So if you're going to be talking to this new cleanser every other day, then it goes in every other day. If you're using iTools or another system with auto responders to coach them, you still want to talk with them on a regular basis. So put it in the appropriate day for follow-up. Okay, so now we've got our cleanser development history. The next is the business goal sheet. We need this, right? We need to, when we're training a new associate, and this is the order of training, we need to show them exactly what they need to be doing to start getting paid, which is become a consultant, and so on and so forth. Then we've got the grocery comparison in there. Why is that a great piece to have in there? Well, you're setting up an auto ship, and of course we've got the auto ship benefits as the next page. We want to show them how valuable these products are. We want to remind them they're saving money. That's also going to be one of the first things people say. I can't afford it. Haven't we heard that a few times? You can't afford not to be on these products. Let me show you why. So that empowers them. The grocery comparison empowers them, and it educates them a little bit more. They've seen it probably in your presentation. We want them to see it again. Of course, the auto ship benefits go right along with that, and then the 2x2 progression. People need to understand how simple the process is. We're teaching them, we're duplicating here, so we want them to understand 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 and how huge it gets and how that affects their future. And then we want to teach them how to create a great story, whether they've been in for 30 seconds or it doesn't matter how long, how to create a great story. So we've got directions for that in there that we're going to use with them. And then there's the opening lines from Isogenics. This is an Isogenics document we put in there. And it's some power lines for them to open conversation with. And then, of course, our BDP talking points. Major points to bring out in conversation with people once they are in the process and they know what Isogenics is all about. Just some great factual information for them. And then we've got disclaimers and compliance because we want to make sure we don't have people out there duplicating bad habits. We want them in good habits and not making claims and not causing any issues that could hurt our family. And then, of course, the important websites and emails. They need to know where to connect. They know how to get going.com because we've been talking about it through the process. They need to know what other websites are out there. They need to know what emails to get to certain people. They need to have your email on there. They need telephone numbers. And that document will give that to them. And then the latest team challenge. Whatever your challenge is, or if you're working with one of George's challenges or one of my challenges, whatever the latest challenge is, okay? This was the latest challenge that I put out to the team running from September 12th to November 16th. So this is hot, what I call hot. It's happening, okay? And this is the challenge that I used, okay? Whatever your challenge is, you want to make sure it's in that document pack. And then, of course, you want to attach your business card. They need to know how to reach you. And that's it. You use this associate file pack for all the documents you need to prospect, present, follow up, and duplicate this incredibly simple, effective, powerful system. Go in this order, and you'll never get lost. You'll never forget, and you'll never be confused. Faith sees the invisible, believes the incredible, and receives the impossible. This is not chopped meat. This is Isogenics. We save lives. Know your system. Teach your system. Be proud of what we have here, and go duplicate. If chopped meat can create billions and billions of dollars in countries all over the world, all over the planet, in all different languages, why can't we? We can, and with you, we will. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Go back in tomorrow. Go through these slides again. Share this with your team. Duplicate. Duplication creates success. Ray Kroc, approved it. Good night, everybody.